this episode I want to look at the creating pathways and canals. So we'll start by building a path that goes up here and then to the left towards that island. So we'll use the toolkit as usual, and we're going to use number 5, which is the canal, bridge and walkway, and then we're going for a simple path on air, water or lava. So you have this help screen which shows the turtle in the middle here with a bit of blocks of either side, then either water or lava ahead, and it creates this path down the centre, so fairly straightforward. The first question it asks, slightly oddly, is shorten an existing path. This is a relatively new addition. It just allows you to compensate for overbuilding a path, which I shall demonstrate shortly. So at this stage, no, we're not going to shorten an existing path. If you put 0 as continuous, it will just keep going, dropping blocks while there are blocks in the inventory. So if I just hit that now, it's going to drop blocks until it hits 50, or you can put a specific length in. So I want to put a specific length of 60 because I know that goes us right into the center of that island. I like to space torches about every 6. I used to do it every 8 blocks, but with the later Minecrafts where you don't need so much light, 16 seems to be good enough. So we need to add some more stone. Let's actually put a full stack in there. And another torch. I'll add 2 more just in case. So as you can see, it's on its way, and it's laying this path down as it goes. Once it's reached 16 blocks, it should turn round and place a torch. There we go. Right, as you can see, we're well past the start of the island, so that's quite convenient. It stopped at that point. So I now want to make it go to the left and head over to the island, but I deliberately want to set it so that it goes from, say, about here, which is a few blocks back. So let's make it go back for, let's say, 10 blocks. That will do. So it's pushing us out the way as it goes. Yep, that'll do fine. And then we'll go left. And then we can repeat the process. We'll do 60, I'm guessing 60, maybe 70 blocks in that direction there. And number 1. No, we're not deleting a path at this stage. It will be shortly. Path length, we're going to make that continuous, but if you press continuous, if you just press 0, it'll ask for the torches, which we're going to put as 16 again, but if you don't put the blocks in already, it's not going to ask for them. It'll just use what 5 is in there and then stop. Again, same with the torches. It's not going to calculate how many you need because you're second guessing it, so it will normally calculate based on the length you give it. So let's give it 4 or 5 torches. That'll do. It won't use any more than it's supposed to, so there's no big deal about putting them in. Now when we press enter, as you can see, it just starts straight away. So what I wanted to demonstrate this time is the fact that it will stop on its own, even if there's still blocks in here, having set it to automatic, and then it will stop as soon as it hits a solid block, such as sand, as long as it's on the surface. Any water plants that are in the way are destroyed first. With a bit of luck, it will hit that grass and then come to a stop. There we go. And again, toolkit, number 5, number 1. This time, yes, I want to shorten the existing path. You can either give the number of blocks you want to remove, or the easiest thing to do is if it's in a path in water like this, or that there's a definitive row of identical blocks, you can then just say until it reaches the end. So if you want it to go to the end, we press 0. Again, it won't give you any further warning, it just goes, and it should return back to this point once it's deleted all the blocks of type cobble. There we go, back where we started from. So that's the first part, which is the building of a simple path. So the next thing I wanted to do was to use the second part of the canal bridge walkway, which is, if we can get that loaded up, number 5 canal bridge walkway is the covered path or tunnel. So you would use this through burrowing through a solid ground, and the idea is that as it goes along it will automatically put a path in below you in case you're walking over some kind of ravine or hole, and it will place something in the ceiling to stop lava or water pouring on you as a sort of kind of a precaution. So let's go for that. So we want the covered path or tunnel, which is 2. This shows you the help screen, which gives you the idea that you're cutting through solid rock plan view, and then facing view your turtle is there 2 block high. It's checking the ceiling and the ground. It doesn't check the sides unless you ask for it. We shall look at that in just a moment. So we'll press enter to continue. Corridor length, let me just get back to my map. This is kind of cheating. I know you wouldn't normally have that ability, but it just helps. So we're on this square here, which is -184, and we want it to come out as maybe there, 200. So let's call it, say, 16 blocks. Let's make it 16 blocks. I mean, you can just choose a number and then extend it if it's not enough. So let's call it 16. Spacing of the torch, just for demonstration purposes, let's put that as 8. Now, this is an interesting one. Seal off water or lava. If you think you might be under attack from lava particularly, or water, you can press yes. It means you need to add more stone, and it takes longer because it will look from side to side. This is the same method that was used when strip mining netherite at an earlier episode, where it looks side to side and blocks up lava if it finds it. So it's quicker to say no here. I don't want to check seal off water. We'll add a couple of torches. I've got plenty of stone in there already, so it should be going now. So what it's doing is checking that the ceiling is sound and that the floor is sound, and then just moving forward. So it moves in this continuous up down method. It's not checking the sides because we haven't asked it to seal off water or lava. So this is by far the quickest method of making a solid tunnel through solid rock. So if there's lava above, it will protect you, but if it's at the side, unless you have specified, it won't. So depending on which part of the ground you're on, you can choose that option if you wish. And there we are, we're through. Now you'll note as it goes out into the open air that it's still placing a ceiling. So the next thing we're going to do is to build a 2 block high tunnel across water. So same principle as was used over there on the through the rock face, but now it's going underwater. So I've prepared this little test area and got the turtle down in the right place, so that theoretically what it should do is to build a 2 block high tunnel that way, so that the ceiling will be on the water surface, and then you'll have the 2 block high tunnel. And I'm going to send it 15 blocks, so it should appear somewhere in the middle of there. So let's show you how that's done. So we'll use GK as before. Then we're going for the canal bridge and walkway, and again the covered path or tunnel. We've seen this before. It shows us the principle. I'm going to set it at 15 because I've already calculated that will take us across the water and into solid ground. I'm not going to bother with any torches. And then this is the important bit: seal off water or lava. Yes. And that's now going. So the first thing it will do is to check the sides, floor and ceiling and see if there's any water. Now in a moment it will break through into the water here, and you'll see the water flowing through, and then it will seal it up. We can now, as I'm in creative mode, we can now go in and watch it do that. So as you can see, it's built the top, bottom, left and right sides, and it's now plugging the corridor that it's trying to build. So it's completely sealing it up. And while water is detected in either at the top, bottom or sides, the turtle knows that there is water present and will continue to block the corridor up. But the reason for doing that is that it's still constructing a potentially waterproof corridor with a minimum number of blocks. And once it reaches dry land and starts burrowing through there, then it will go back and dig out the blocks that it has placed to seal the corridor with. So we're almost finished sealing the waterproof area. Okay, so it's now about to break into here. I'll just give it a second to get past the first block. Oh well, we've broken. Oh, good. So it's now into dry land. There's no more water, so it's now going back on itself and is digging out the blocks that it has counted so far, that it has placed, going up one and then coming back. So it'll appear just here, drop down to the floor and then carry on where it left off. Now obviously this would normally be sealed, it's just that I broke through it to see it. So we can now jump down here. Let's place a torch just to brighten it up and reseal the ceiling. So this should stop after it reaches 15 blocks. There we go. Thank you for using as usual. So if we go back this way, we can see that the tunnel that it has produced is now completely sealed from the water, and here's our exit, obviously sealed up. So that's how we can do it, combination of underwater. So this will work in caves and so on, so you can just bore a hole. As long as you ask it to seal it up, it will seal off the water if you come across it.